Punish Harry and Meghan before it's too late. Charles faces impossible task with Sussex at his coronation. The king is facing a nightmare task over Harry and Meghan, and he has just 100 days to make a major call or the aftershocks could last years. Hello and a very warm welcome to Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. There have been 41 coronations stretched out over more than a millennium, so you would think that by now the royal family would have the thing down, but it's pretty remarkable just how much can and does go wrong. William the Conqueror's big day, for example, resulted in houses surrounding the abbey being set on fire, and there was even a riot after somebody mistook a loud noise for an assassination attempt. And then, in the 13th century, a little 9-year-old Henry III was crowned without any jewels, wearing a circlet that was borrowed from his mother because his father, King John, had somehow managed to lose the precious cargo in a roadside bog. And then in 1838, it was Queen Victoria's turn. Well, the Archbishop ended up putting her ring on the wrong finger. Later on, she had to soak the finger just to get it off, and not without great pain, according to what she wrote in her diary. But things could get even crazier when the next sovereign is anointed, one King Charles III. But things could get even crazier for the next sovereign to be anointed, one King Charles III, who is currently facing a looming coronation fiasco of his own in just a little over 100 days. And what is the reason behind this? Well, of course, Prince Harry and his narcissistic, greedy wife, Meghan. For almost 6 weeks now, it has been a complete media circus coming from Meghan and Harry's TV and literary assault. Their lengthy docu-series was released on Netflix in December, and then Harry's tell-all memoir hit the shelves in January. Now, of course, the docu-series was really nothing new. It was basically just a reality show rehashing the claims they already told on Oprah, interspersed with way too many iPhone selfies. The book, however, was a whole different story. The account of royal upbringing as told by Harry, aided and abetted by his ghostwriter J.R. Moringer, is one that is going to have an effect on even the coldest of hearts, forever proof that the British upper classes are really not good at parenting. Harry claims that his parents and his family denied him affection, that he was always being reminded of his understudy status, and he suffered, of course, the tragic loss of his mother Diana. And Harry entered adulthood as a very damaged and angry young person with a lot more baggage than anyone could imagine. After that, he spent about a decade going to war, playing on his Xbox, and also drowning his sorrows in a lot of drugs and alcohol. And then Harry's life completely changed when his savior, the Suits actress, Meghan Markle, entered the picture. And the entrance of this woke California mattress actress triggered a chain reaction that led to the biggest royal rupture in quite some time. And in the years since they ran away to California, the two of them have participated in, according to a recent column in the Washington Post, about 40 hours of interviews and other forays into the media. And all of these appearances have offered a very critical view of not only the people who live in Buckingham and Kensington palaces, but also the institution of the monarchy itself. Of course, the world is still feeling the aftershocks of all of this, and the clock is ticking closer and closer to Charles's coronation. So what in the world is this king going to do? See, the issue for Charles is really twofold: the actual coronation and the possible attendance of Meghan and Harry. And perhaps more importantly, King Charles needs to worry about the broader existential threat that is being posed by the seemingly relentless pipeline of Harry's morally superior complaining. We need to consider the fact that King Charles really has gone out of his way to announce to the entire world how much he loves and cares for his younger son. During his first address as king last year, he basically said as much. But on the other hand, Harry has done so much damage to the monarchy with his one-man revolutionary band. It's really difficult just to sweep all of that under the rug. We'll begin on the whole invitation issue. So since last year, reporting out of London has made it clear that Harry and Meghan, as the son and daughter-in-law of the king, are going to definitely be on the guest list. A source told The Telegraph just last month all members of the family will be welcome. But still, this optimistic perspective of things really covers up the fact that if they do attend, every camera lens, every person watching through their TV, and every journalist will be closely watching Meghan and Harry's every move. And the danger of this is that it could be a major distraction from the people we should be focused on that day, King Charles and the Queen Consort Camilla. So essentially, the sideshow of Meghan and Harry would probably distract everybody, and the media especially, from the King and the Queen Consort. There's also the question of how the masses are going to receive Meghan and Harry. So, when the Duke and Duchess of Sussex attended the service of Thanksgiving for the late Queen during her Platinum Jubilee celebrations last year, there were some boos that came from the waiting crowds as they got there. And considering that recent polling shows that their support in the UK has fallen even further into negative territory, and now they have hit whole new lows, just what may the public reaction be if they do indeed decide to show? See, for Meghan and Harry, if they do decide to go, I think it would be very difficult, if not impossible, for them to confront in front of the world their diminished official status. There is a very good chance that, as with that service and the late Queen's funeral last year, they would be relegated to the no man's land of the second row, and that's going to be quite the blow to their egos. According to the Times, the king has decided that only William, rather than all of the royal dukes, are going to participate in the ceremony by paying homage, which does require them to kneel and to kiss his cheek. And then there's the whole second part of this problem, the much bigger and more difficult to answer question of how in the world the king needs to approach the Harry question going forward. Harry himself last week told the Telegraph's Brandon Gordon that it's his life's mission to right the wrongs of the very thing that drove us out. He also said that he wants to try to save them from themselves. Now, can anyone accept the idea that this is a man who already said what he needs to say, and so now he's just going to go off and live a happy, peaceful, quiet life of dedication to good deeds and maybe reading some fairy tales to those chickens? It's a very tricky situation for the palace indeed. So if they engage directly with Meghan and Harry's long list of complaints, they're going to only add fuel to the fire and make this storm go on for longer. And on the other hand, their policy of refusing to get into it and stoically keeping their eyes forward is not doing them a lot of good either if you look at the most recent polls. Now, the fact is, there aren't many revelations in Spare that are actually of real substance, other than maybe Prince William's assault of Harry and also Harry's frozen penis, but this book really has chipped away at their standing with the British people. Ever since the Queen passed away last year, the percentage of British citizens who believe the monarchy is a good thing for the country has fallen from 82 to 69%. And the question of whether the country should keep the institution, well, support fell from 87% to 84%. And about the question of whether respondents believe the country would still have a crown in 100 years, the figure that agreed fell 5 points to below the 2 per 3 mark of 67%. Now, of course, none of this spells doomsday for the monarchy, but still, the honeymoon period for the UK when it comes to Charles is probably not going to be a very long one. So right now is when he so badly needs to build his support base and prove that he is a king who is up to the job. So what in the world is this new king supposed to do? Navigating the next few months with Charles and the Sussex waters is going to require some tactical genius. In just a little over 100 days, it is going to be King Charles's go at walking down the aisle. And I think we can safely assume the rings have been sized, the St. Edward's crown is being kept in a very safe location, and no one is going to allow that Prince Andrew anywhere close to a box of matches. And you, what do you think about the monarchy? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section, and we can also discuss your thoughts and feelings. If you think my video is helpful, please remember to like and share it with your friends and family members who would enjoy it. And please click the subscribe button below to subscribe to Kate Middleton and the Queen News channel to get more videos from our team. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you all tonight.